What's good? What's good, beautiful people? How y'all doing out there, man? Happy hump day. We're almost at the weekend again. I couldn't decide if I wanted to wear my Yankee hat or not because that's the only thing I've been wearing every time, man. How y'all doing, man? Let's get settled in, baby. Let's go. What a night. What a night. Bunch of one-of-ones last night, man. Sheesh. How y'all doing, man? We almost at the weekend again. I feel like every single time, man, these weeks just fly. Like, these weeks really be flying, man. But what a awesome couple games we had, man. How y'all doing? Hey, what's good, Elijah? You beat Derpy Entertainment. Let's see if he pop up. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see if he pop up because that man been on it. I don't know what he got. I think he gets the notification before I do. Yeah, Derpy Entertainment. He be popping in. That's some good love, though. I appreciate y'all, man. How you doing, bro? How you doing today, man? You seen them games last night? Sheesh. I'm ready. We gotta get some water, baby. Let's go. Oh, this is the best part. This is the best part, bro. Yo, this guy is starting early. Yo, watched real teams last time. Sorry teams like the Knicks playing today. LOL. Nah, I was slump booty. What's good, Bruce? What's good? Hey, man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Knicks have been on timeout lately. The Knicks have been on timeout. I've been like half paying attention to them. And ever since I'm half paying attention to them, OG Anunoby want to score 30 a game. He's just fucking with me, man. When I watch them, he want to go have 12 points. When I don't watch them, he want to go have 36. Like, you can't win, man. But welcome into another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast. I wanted to see how that sounded. Let me know how y'all think that sounded. The Jayson Estrera show, the podcast, whatever y'all want to call it. We're working on some shit right now. But thank you guys for joining me. We had an unbelievable night of basketball. I mean, two guys that are literally one of one in the NBA. Two players that we haven't seen get replicated before decided to go off last night. And that was Steph Curry and Nikola Jokic. We're going to talk about the MVP race. We're going to talk about whether or not Jimmy Butler is still ass. But before we get to any of that today, my boy is in the Hall of Fame. First ballot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The fucking legend, man. They announced earlier today that Carmelo Anthony has been inducted first ballot Hall of Famer. I couldn't be more happy. Y'all know I love Melo. I think it's very deserved. I think he really deserves that shit. Unbelievable player. For the amount of shit that the media gives him, right? He was on that list of someone that people called selfish, that people called this and that, and has kind of needed players like Iman Shumpert and Kenyon Martin and so on and so forth that really gave him credit, right? That really gave him credit. I'll be honest with you, Bruce. There was no star. We still wouldn't have a single star on the New York Knicks if Carmelo Anthony never joined us. And I think he was one of those, because we were talking about it all last week about trying to fit players into a mold. He was never going to be Carmelo. He was never going to be LeBron James. He was never going to stand at the top of the key, run high pick and roll, hit you in the pocket. He was never that type of player. And the one time where we gave him a team that everyone else could kind of handle the passing and you just let him score and grab rebounds. They had a very successful year, but that was 1 year, and it was an old-ass Jason Kidd, old-ass Kenyon Martin. Like, that was what he was dealing with, right? And I think he's a player that's gotten a lot of bad raps. Unbelievable on the Nuggets. Then his numbers went to Jokic. But, I mean, he was also on a team where the coach was never on his side. He was on a team where the coach was never on his side. I get it. I get it. You want to talk about the numbers, the championships, but those things matter. In context, they matter. And I think a player like Melo, who, honestly, I think he got a bad rap for most of his career. To get to this point, he obviously has the respect of his peers. I mean, the players he played with and played against talk about him in very high fashion. So, I mean, unbelievable career, regardless of the fact. He underachieved. He was better than LeBron. Then he ate too much at bodegas. Like I said, I don't think they ever put teams that were really there to help Carmelo Anthony. Let's be honest. I was hyped when they got Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony, but that was a horrible fit. Raymond Felton was our starting point guard. like, what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? Iman Shumpert. The best thing they did on Cleveland was to take the basketball out of his hand. And then on the New York Knicks, they did everything to try to have him play fucking point guard. Like, he was in a shit situation in New York. And we know the reason you shit on the Knicks is because the organization sucks. Let's just call that what it is, point blank period. That organization sucks. It broke my heart. It broke my heart when I was watching the Roommates podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. And James Dolan said, I am never selling this team. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, fuck. Like, how do we off him and the rest of his family? That's what I want to know. How can we do that and get away with it? I was a fan until I saw him let LeBron become better than him. He had a stacked team in Denver. How many years was it a stacked team, though? Like, I mean, after... Didn't they lose to the champions? They lost to the Lakers, the eventual champions, and he ran into Kobe Bean Bryant. I mean, it just that's Kobe, that's Kobe, and then he ended up on a shit Knicks. That was probably the worst thing that he could have done for his career was go to the New York Knicks. Hey man, Melo was fucking nice. Melo was nice as fuck at basketball, man. Shit, that dude is. Well-deserved Hall of Fame regardless. But I get it. Like, I get it. Because, you know, some of that stuff has to fall on his shoulders as well, too. Right? It was his decision to go to the New York Knicks, right? It was his decision to stay in Denver longer than he should have. Because he should have not signed that extension. That was on him. He shouldn't have signed that extension when Wade and LeBron signed that little 3-year extension instead of like the 4 or 5 year deal. He probably would have been better off. Imagine being heartbroken in the offs, bro. like bro, like you see, like like bro, like what? You gonna be tomorrow when the Warriors win? Oh my god, man. Oh my god. I saw the other day, and like that's the thing. I can't blame people for taking the money at the same time, but that was really where his mistake was in terms of actual basketball. A guy was unbelievable. Like I said, I think he was a victim of just a player that they were trying to force into a mold instead of molding a team around him. Yeah, he might have been much better off on Chicago if he would have went to Miami instead of Chris Bosh. He definitely would have won one, and shit would be a little bit different. But it could go the other way, Bruce, right? It could go the other way because look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant went to chase the ring And how do people talk about Kevin Durant? There are people that call him trash. There are people that call Kevin Durant trash. Everyone makes their bed. Everyone's got to lay in it. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Melo will forever be a ringless player, and that's just a part of it. That's just a part of it. Now, I wanted to talk about a young up and coming player really quickly, because I know we were talking about Bronny gets overcovered, but I think Zachary Risachet, I finessed the fuck out of his name right there too, but I think Zachary Risachet has been undercovered. Yeah, I don't think he's been covered quite enough. I think I saw a post the other day. I don't know how true it is. But when he had 36 the other night, I think they said he did it on like 2 dribbles, on like 1 or 2 dribbles or something like that. And then there was a lot of people comparing that to Klay Thompson. And I think the Atlanta Hawks are like in a very interesting spot, because they have Trae Young, who has changed his game dramatically, I think, right? You have a Dyson Daniels, who, if Dyson Daniels could shoot the basketball, I mean, like, it would be different. I think their issue is they're going to force someone like a Zachary Risachet to go and become a number 1 option type of player. And there's a skill to being able to score without dribbling, right? But at this NBA, to be the number 1 main option wing or guard player, you have to be able to handle the rock. And to expect him to go from the style of play that he's playing now, where Trae Young is getting 19 assists, 20 plus assists every other night, you can't expect him to transition to all of a sudden be the best player on the team. That's not how this works, right? I think, a lot of people were talking about Klay Thompson. I realized this the other day, because everyone talks about the 37-point quarter that Klay had, right? I think people forget that he had 52 that game. Like, not only did he have 37, not only did he have 37 a quarter, but he had 52 for the game. So people got to put some respect on Klay Thompson. And again, the ultimate second, third option player, right? The ultimate. And it really depends on how you evaluate these players, right? If you evaluate Zachary Risachet as a potential really good second, third option where he can grow into his ball handling and playmaking, perfect. But to all of a sudden expect him to jump to a number 1 option with the skills he has now, it really comes down to some shit evaluation sometimes by these teams. Tomorrow isn't the offseason. Trae got to get out of there for my sake. I'm tired of people talking about him. I don't think so, to be honest. I would hope they push Jalen more than him. I mean, that's the talks, and I think sometimes these managements or these owners will see numbers on a stat sheet and just think that, oh shit, he'll be able to do that regardless, and it's just not how it works. It's just not. It in theory, that sounds nice, but in actual execution, that's not how it actually works. But I think he's got a really bright future. I think Zachary Risachet has a really bright future. Very undercovered. I mean, we haven't spoken about him that much this year. He has, I want to get the actual numbers right. Let's see. He leads all rookies this season in 30-point games. There was another stat about how many 30-point games he's had, bro. But just again, I think he's gonna be a very, very solid player in this league. Whether he goes and becomes an all-star is a whole nother thing, right? That's another step. But I think he could be a very solid player. He's good. He's good, man. He's really good. He's got size. He's got skill. But that team potentially they have some good pieces, right? Dyson Daniels has been unreal. Zachary Risache has been solid, and then with Trae Young, I don't know what he's gonna do. Right? I don't know what he's gonna do. Like this whole I'm gonna stay loyal to my team bullshit, it don't work. That shit don't work, man. Go do what you think is best for your career. But in terms of putting these teams before yourself, that's ass. It don't work. It just don't work. Now, we gotta get into one of the two unbelievable games last night, man, because Steph Curry decided to do some Steph Curry shit. What the fuck? What the hell just happened to my thing? All right. Steph Curry decided to go he decided to go nuclear last night. He went off for, what is this? 52 last night. 52 points on 16 of 31 shooting, 12 of 20 from 3. At the half, he had 32 points and 8 threes already. What a unreal performance. And I mean, what do you say about Steph? It's funny because he had there was that full court shot like a week or two ago that he had hit that ended up not actually. He actually didn't make the shot. He missed it, right? But because it's Steph Curry, we expect these shots to go in, right? We expect these shots by Steph Curry. Anytime he shoots it, it doesn't matter where the fuck it is. We expect him to make it, right? He was on pace to break the record last night. And there were a couple shots where he was kind of hunting it. And honestly, I don't blame him, because to the people that say you're hunting for certain records or whatnot, the reality about a record is this. The opportunity for it to happen is so small. I'm sure when Steph Curry started this game, he didn't get the feeling of a potential record probably until halftime. He was having a really good game, but so many things have to go right in order for you to even be close to hitting a record. And there's a sequence in the fourth quarter, right? And I think this supports my argument when I tell all of these players they can't be shooting as many threes that they do. When I tell these managers, these coaches, these guys should not be shooting threes as much as they do. Let me see. First half, he was 8 of 10. Let me get the third quarter. He was 3 of 5. So he 11 for 15. 11 for 15 going into the fourth quarter from the three-point line. Steph Curry was, right? Sits the beginning, right? Memphis trying to make a bit of a run. Steph comes in, right? Steph takes a contested three-point shot, essentially a heat check. Takes another one in the following possession. So clearly now he knows that there's a potential record. And I think at that point he was sort of testing how hot he was at that point after sitting for a little bit, right? After missing those two shots, he was 11 of 17 from the field. 11 of 17 from the field. And what did he do on his next attempt? He drove it to the basket. 11 of 17 from the field. 40 plus points. And instead of taking a third consecutive three-pointer, he drove to the rim. This is what I'm saying, y'all. To the general managers, the analytics guys, the coaches, Steph Curry was on pace to break the record for 3-point shots in a single game. He had 40 already and still opted to not take the third consecutive 3-point shot. Too many times we have players and teams who will take 3 terrible 3-point shots in one possession. If your name isn't Steph Curry and you are not on pace to break a single fucking record, you have no business taking 2 or 3 or more 3-point shots in a row. You just have no business doing it. The greatest shooter of all time didn't do it. If that's not you, you have no business doing that shit. And honestly, a part of why he even started hitting a bunch of threes was why? Because Memphis was top blocking him in the first quarter. In the first half, really. They were top blocking him. So what happened as a result of that? I'm going to backdoor your shit. I'm going to get some easy dump down to teammates. I'm going to get layups. That got him going. And proceeded to hit 3 after 3 after 3. But it just didn't come out of nowhere. And like I said, if the greatest shooter of all time on a heater isn't taking that third 3-point shot in a row, then you shouldn't either. That's just my message to all these players, man. To all these coaches, all the general managers out there, analytics people. God damn it, that shit matters. God damn it, it matters. And so it's just great decision making by Steph Curry, understanding situations, understanding that teams are gonna play him for a certain shot, for a certain sequence, and just having a counter for it, right? Having a counter for it. Just run the other way, go back door. Try to go get a layup. Try to get fouled. Just anything other than just shooting the same shot that you just took. Because now it opens it up for you to take another one after. After he hit the layup, he shot another 3. I think he missed it. But still, thinking the game through. Can't take that part away. Now, the Grizzlies really fight, man. This is it's unfortunate, the news that have come out of the last week with when it comes to them. With the Taylor Jenkins getting fired, that fell on Ja Morant's shoulder. And now we have more news when it comes to Ja Morant with the gun gesture, right? Let's take a look at this really quickly, man. Let's take a look at this.
It started in a disastrous fashion.
It did.
They lose in Atlanta. They lose in Miami. They right the ship in New Orleans and San Antonio.
Who did the gesture first? This is before the free throw line. This is before we saw Ja Morant as he's crossing Jimmy Butler and them doing the gesture. We see Buddy Hield doing it right here. Right? He's doing it right here. This is not, this is clear as day. He was doing what Ja Morant was doing, but he did it first. Unless someone has video of Ja Morant doing it before, then we can have a different conversation. But Buddy Hield is clearly doing it right now.
But they're 20 seconds away from owning the tiebreaker over Memphis and Minnesota. And so Butler, what a luxury.
See? Gestured and gestured.
With Jimmy 12 of 12 and Steph 6 of 6.
The NBA is investigating it. And based on the footage, Buddy Hield did it first. Buddy Hield did it first. And I feel for Ja Morant because what do we always say? The second guy always gets caught. right? If you're ever speeding, right? If you're ever on the highway speeding, right? The second guy, the guy behind the other person, for the most part, is going to get that ticket. It always happens. The second guy who always gets caught, damn near every time. But here's the thing, though, right? I'm tired of people clutching their pearls. This is a normal part of basketball. Austin Reeves does it. Nobody cares. Ja does it. He's a thug. Like, come on. It's a regular part of basketball. People overreaching. LeBron does it. And you are 100% right, Elijah, right? Ja, with his old incident, it shouldn't continue to follow him. But in a perfect world, that would work. But we don't live in a perfect world, right? The reality for Ja Morant. The reality for Ja Morant is this, right? You can't do any of these things from here on out. Unfortunately, from here on out, you can't do any of these gestures. If you do a 3, your hand better be raising up high like this. You could do the 3 up. You could do 3 to the dome. But you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't. You just can't. You just can't, Ja. Unfortunately, you cannot. You just can't do it because people will always assume otherwise. Like, there is clear footage of Buddy Hield doing it to him first, and people are still going to blame Ja Morant. It's just how things are. I'll take it a step further. I don't think Ja should ever mention the word gun. I don't think he can ever say guns. Even when he says shoot or shot, I think he needs to be careful. And I'm not being funny. I think that's the world that we live in, and that's the life that he has to live if he wants to continue getting sponsorships. And that's just the reality of his situation. Ice in the veins, what they do. Ja has a history of guns, so the reputation is there, just like Draymond Green. Fouls are always reviewed. Like, here's the thing at this point, right? You gotta pay someone to go get you a gun at the store. No one can ever see you purchase it. If you're gonna go to a range, you have to close that bitch down and make sure there are no cameras, nothing, nowhere. He just needs to adjust. And like I said, I'm not even saying like this particular instance. I think this is on Buddy Hield. Or if anything, they both have to get reprimanded. But at the end of the day, it's always going to fall on Ja Morant. And the sooner he understands that, the better. Now, if he wants to keep doing what he does, knowing the consequences, then by all means, do your thing. But if you want these sponsorship opportunities, if you want the opportunity to get traded to any of these major teams in these major markets and have these big brands work with you, this is just going to have to be your reality. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. No, LeBron legitimately does gun, not ice. Watch college basketball. You are a shooter in basketball. People are just being unreasonable. False, Elijah, and you know it. Like I said, I agree with both of y'all, man. Like, I understand that there is a microscope on Ja Morant because of what happened in the past, and whether you think it's unfair or not, it just is. It just is. And it's unfortunate because we can't even get to how good of a basketball player he is sometimes because of this bullshit. But like we just said, you made your bed. You got to lay in it, bro. You made your bed. You got to lay it. You got to lay in it. That just is what it is. The NBA is 100% overstepping. If you want to make him make a stance about have him do gun rights, we need to draw the line. We should not let them rule our lives. Bruce is not false, buddy. He was just doing it. That proves my point. Listen, I get you, bro. I get you, Elijah. I get you. That's just not how life works. That's just not how the world is run, bro. Like, that's just not how the world is run, right? If you're in this shit, and I'm talking about life, right? You just gotta play the game. We don't make the rules. We get thrown in the motherfucker, and we gotta figure our way through it, right? Depending on where you want to go in life, depending on how high you want to go up, depends on how much you want to play the game. But regardless of the fact, you got to play it. You got to play it. And this is the thing too about Ja. There are billions of dollars in the NBA. Billions. All of these things matter. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because what's gonna happen is Ja is gonna be he's gonna get the name on it. All you gotta do is see Gilbert Arenas. There isn't even video of Gilbert Arenas with the gun. There is not one video of Gilbert Arenas with a gun. And it has followed him until after his NBA career. Granted, he's been able to figure a way to work shit out, right? But it just goes to show you it'll never leave. That's why I said Ja is just gonna have to adjust or he won't. It's all up to him. It's all up to him. I mean, what if he wants to go do partnerships with gun companies? I don't know. That's not him. But it becomes a very touchy subject, especially in certain households throughout the country and in the world. So, amen. But a hell of a game. A hell of a game still. A hell of a game. The question that I have right now is, to get back to Steph Curry, because they said it so confidently last night, right? They're like, oh, Steph is going to break the single game record. 14 3-pointers in one game. Oh, he's going to break the record. They said it so casually. And to me, it came off as, oh, like, you think this is guaranteed, when I just talked about how many things have to go right in order for a game like that to actually take place. They gave Josh Giddey the benefit of the doubt. You give Buddy a pass, but Ja gets punished. I agree. We have to work with our circumstances, but similar to an incarcerated person, don't punish. I'll be honest with you. And this is like I said, I feel for Ja, right? If the difference between me getting an additional $100 million versus $200 million just because I gotta stop certain shit in the public view, that I don't think that's controlling my life. Because I could still be myself. I just have to have certain restraint when it comes to certain things. But like I said, that's a decision he's going to have to make. If he thinks it's worth it or not. Right? That's why I keep saying, you made your bed, you got to lay in it. I get he made the mistake a couple years ago, but it's a part of the story, and it's a part of his narrative now. He can't erase that. He can't wipe that off. And if him not doing certain gestures is going to prevent him from getting some of these opportunities, that's on him. And to me, it's not that big of a, like, for me, if I was in that spot and you told me, oh, you just got to not do certain gestures and you will make X amount of dollars more, have X amount of opportunities more. Fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it. But that's on him to decide. Them after they received their punishment. I meant gun safety, not right. Excuse me, but I'm gonna get off my horse now. at least I appreciate that comment. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Steph Curry will ever beat the single game 3-point record of 14, which Klay Thompson owns? And for me, it's very easy to say, oh yeah, he gonna beat it. In actuality, excuse me. In actuality, though, like I said, so many things have to go right for you to hit 14 threes. Or 15, I guess, to beat the record, right? He's getting older, right? Yeah, every day goes by, every year goes by that he doesn't get this record. He's getting older. So that doesn't help him. I think also potentially, I think it could very well happen where Steph already has every other record, right? This is the one record that he just cannot have over Klay Thompson. Out of all of the things, I know they've competed in so many three-point shooting competitions just in a closed gym. I know they've talked a lot of shit to each other. I know it for a fact. Because they're both really competitive people. But this might be the one thing that he will never be able to have over Klay Thompson. And I think I'm totally fine with that. I mean, what do we call it? I mean, what did we used to say back in the day? Steph Curry is the far better player. But when Klay Thompson gets hot, woo! Like, no one gets hot the way Klay Thompson used to when he was on the Warriors. And that just might be what it is. No Payne Pritchard will against the Nuggets on an end of the year game when stars are out. I mean, he off of pure numbers, I mean, you might be right. Somebody on Boston might actually beat that shit. But I actually don't think he's gonna beat it. I actually don't think Steph is gonna hit the record. I mean, last night he was so close. He was so close, and he still needed 5 or 4 at that point, right? Because he had 11. He was so close and still needed 4 threes. And some people don't understand how hard it is to hit 4 threes in one quarter in an NBA game. I feel like some people think that shit's easy, like this is 2K. Like, no, that's really difficult to do, especially now they're playing for it. They're doing everything they can so you don't get those shots. I mean, it's really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult. So, I think a part of why, like, Klay Thompson teams obviously were playing for him, but there are other guys on the court like Steph Curry. Right, like Steph Curry, who draws that attention, that allows a player like Klay Thompson, who's a really unbelievable shooter, to get a lot of open shots. But do I think he beats it? I mean, he had a real good chance last night and didn't do it. I don't know how many more times he'll be on that kind of pace. I mean, that's just unreal, though. I mean, unreal by Steph Curry. Let's see, man. Let's see. We got to talk some OT. Double OT in Minnesota. Or no, in Denver. They were in Denver, right? Double OT in Denver. The Nuggets lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves 140-139. And Rudy Gobert, bruh. What the fuck am I saying? And Nikola Jokic decided to go off for 61 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists to go with 2 steals. I did enjoy the rage bait too of the gun fingers by Dre. That made me chuckle. And then as soon as the game ended, who gave a massive dap and a hug to Ja Morant? It was Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to the players, none of this shit is a real issue for the most part. It really is everyone else in the world, right? That makes it bigger than what it is. And like I said, you know, that's just the world that y'all live in. It is what it is, man. But what a night for Jokic, man. 61, 10, and 10. And I know they lost. We're going to get into it. But my God. Investigation on what? Who they about to investigate? Russ? Cause bruh, this breaks my heart, bro. Y'all know I love Russell Westbrook. Y'all know, like, I take no Russell Westbrook slander over here. But we gotta talk about it.
Conley to Anthony Edwards. Gordon is there.
First of all, what the fuck was that, Anthony Edwards? And what the fuck was that? Julius Randle was about to set a pick on nobody. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do in that moment, but wow.
It's a turnover. 2-on-1. Brown. Westbrook.
Like, bro, I think I clicked the shit by accident.
Conley the other way. Edwards looks at the clock. Drives. Feeds. Forwards.
They got a foul.
They got
a foul on the three-point shot.
It's a foul.
And they called the foul.
Foul.
Drives. Feeds. Forwards.
Like, if it wasn't Russell Westbrook, I would be losing my fucking mind right now. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you guys. If it wasn't Russell Westbrook, I would be cussing out number 4 on the Denver Nuggets right now. I think he also missed a massive free throw that could have sealed the game in overtime, if I remember correctly. So, three massive blunders for Russell Westbrook. And I mean, what the fuck, man? like you know, everybody wants to say, oh, he should have pulled the he should have pulled it out. He could have pulled the ball out. Right? He could have pulled the ball out. And I'm being honest with you, Christian Brown could have pulled the ball out too. Right? It wasn't just Russ. Brown could have pulled the ball out too, but Russ is the veteran. I don't know if he didn't want to pull the ball out because he didn't want to get fouled, because his free throw woes throughout his career are well documented. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how the fuck you missed that layup. And then you could argue the 3-point shot on the other side all you want. But as a vet, you cannot put yourself in that position at the same time. Like, it's just all of it is just bad. I just had to tell myself he won them games this season, but I was fighting that trash. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing too. Here's the other part in this, right? Because he's gotten a lot of shit over the last couple years. He was supposed to be the 6th man on this team. I get I get that Russ has been, people have downplayed how good he is and so on and so forth. His role on the Denver Nuggets was supposed to be the sixth man. And he's in these clutch situations and these big moments when realistically he probably shouldn't even be in there. And I know he's helped them win some big games this year. He's had real clutch moments alongside some big mistakes as well too. But I'm trying to defend it, but I can't, y'all. Like, you just cannot miss that free throw and foul the 3-point shooter. I'm mind blown. Like, I'm just mind blown. I'm mind blown. Like, I genuinely, I'm mind blown. I cannot believe, because if he makes that layup, it's a 3-point game. The Minnesota Timberwolves have a timeout, so they could advance the ball with 10 seconds left. Maybe they can get something, but I still think him hitting the layup puts a ton of pressure on Minnesota. Right? It puts a lot of pressure on Minnesota. And so I could live with him going for the layup, but you got to make it. You got to make it. And it's just, he's one of those players, man, where a lot of the negative things will always follow him. They were talking on First Take about this is a part of his story, right? His decision making has always been in question. Right? It's always been in question. You've never questioned how hard he plays. You've never questioned his effort, how much he cares. You never even question how good he is. It's always just been the decision making. And again, it just reared its ugly head last night, and it cost them. It cost them a massive game. It cost Jokic a win in a massive game. I don't want to put it all on Russ, obviously, but holy shit, that was bad. Holy shit, that was really bad. Now, I got a question for y'all. Is this the worst Denver Nuggets team that Jokic has had? You know, part of it is I disagree. That 6-man time, they kept Poole on for those moments. Nuggets kept Bruce Brown in those moments. Russ just screwed up, but that's what being human is. Move on. This easy to accept this from Russ. That's facts. That's facts. To your point, even if they had their full roster, maybe he would still be closing out games. Maybe. But I like to think that if everyone was fully healthy, Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon would be closing games. I don't know if there'd be room for Russ if everyone was fully healthy. But well, here's my argument, right? Jamal Murray is having a down year and he's been in and out the lineup. Aaron Gordon has missed a significant amount of time. I think just those two factors alone make this team very different than what it's been in the last 3 or 4 years, right? I've talked about how I don't think it's an accident why Nikola Jokic is averaging what he's averaging. I think they've needed him to because of the absence of Aaron Gordon and because Jamal Murray is having such a down year. He waited until February to start hooping. like he literally waited until February. And then you have Christian Brown, who's a very young player. Michael Porter Jr. has improved, but it doesn't make up for Aaron Gordon's defense and athleticism. And it doesn't make up for Jamal Murray's playmaking ability in the two-man game with Jokic. And you add Russell Westbrook into the fold, who's been good in spots. I mean, I think this adds to the MVP discussion. We'll talk about that with Jokic in just 1 second, but I think it adds to it. This team would be in shambles without him. Jokic always makes a point against Rudy, and the point is he can't guard. And he does. He does. He loves. I think he lights up when he sees Rudy Gobert. He literally lights up when he sees Rudy. just straight torching this fool. He did it in the playoffs last year, torching him. But I think that is something we really have to consider in this MVP race. Where would this team be without Jokic? Where? I mean, where? You got to make up 30, 10, and 10 from somewhere. And no one is making that up. This team would be in literal shambles. And it's not just because of, and it's not necessarily because of their talent. They've been hurt a lot this year. Aaron Gordon is a massive part of what they do. And honestly, he had like the 40-some game against the Lakers. He hasn't been bad once since he's come back, right? 30 last night. This is what I was talking about. I was waiting for them to start looking to Aaron Gordon to be more offensive minded, to take advantage of one-on-one scenarios, to free up shots for Jokic and other players, which, he just hasn't been healthy, right? Health has been a major factor for this team. And I think if they didn't have Jokic, this team would be in literal shambles this year. Literal shambles. I mean, I wouldn't even, I think they would be awful this year if he wasn't on the team. And I think that really adds to the MVP debate, which brings me to who y'all got for MVP, man? Who y'all got for MVP? If I was the NBA, I would cheat. I'm giving both of them motherfuckers an MVP, bro. The first time in history, you're going to get a dual MVP award because you're splitting hairs at this point. I think both teams would be really bad without their star players. Talking about the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because you want to talk about, they have a lot of talent on OKC, which they do, right? Which they absolutely do. But not just the 30-plus points that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander brings every game. Who is going to put pressure on the paint possession to possession? It's not just the points. It's the pressure he applies on the other team every single possession, every single game. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder would not be a very good team if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't on there. And so I think I wouldn't be mad. Honestly, I genuinely would not be mad if they did a co-MVP award this year, because I mean, I would need to really look back, but I don't remember the last time we had such a close race where they're both so good for very different reasons. Jokic is, I know I was talking earlier a couple months ago, Shai might be the best basketball player in the world. I mean, I might have been fucking faded. I might have been drinking before I came on here. I don't know what was going on. This guy Jokic is unreal, bro. Like, I don't know. Who would y'all give it to? Who would y'all give it to? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I would hate to be the person with the vote. How do I give both of them a vote? How do we give both of them the same amount of votes? Like, how do we do that? Because I think it would be very fitting, right? I think it would be very fitting because both teams would be very lost without their superstar player. But let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Now, I wanted to touch on the Minnesota Timberwolves really quickly, right? Anthony Edwards ended up looking decent in the game, right? Granted, he need No. Yoke, Tatum, SGA, Brown. What are you saying? No. I'm so sorry, bruh. And I've been high on Jayson Tatum. He is not sniffing that fucking race And neither is Braun. I am so sorry. There are 2 names on. They should take every other name off. They should take every other name off. No disrespect. With disrespect. I don't give a fuck. Take every name off. Excuse me. There only needs to be Jokic and SGA, and that is it. I don't want to hear nobody else's name. That's what I'm saying. I think they are so far ahead of everyone else. That's why and it's such a tight race. I don't know how you call this one. Right? Because now you end up in a spot where there's going to be voters who are going to say, "Oh shit, I fucked up last year. I gave it to Jokic when Shea should have won it." So now they're going to go and give it to Shea even though maybe Jokic might deserve it. People are going to be doing weird shit is kind of what I'm getting at. People are going to be doing weird shit when it comes to the voting. Just give it to Jokic and SG. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, how does that work? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Just give it to both of them, bro. That's what I would do. But speaking of a player that's not sniffing an MVP award, Anthony Edwards. He ended up with 34, needed 2 overtimes to get there. But what's up with the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? Because I'm watching them last night. And this is the thing that I think is very interesting, right? Anthony Edwards was talking a lot about they don't have an identity this year, their defense. I think I said this shit the other day, but he was talking a lot about that earlier this year. They don't have toughness, right? All that good stuff. They had the best defense last year in the NBA. The best defense last year in the NBA. And they go and lose Karl Anthony Towns. But all of your defensive players are still there. Anthony Edwards is still there. Jaden McDaniels is still there. Rudy Gobert is still there. Mike Conley even has always been a very solid defender to me. I mean, how do you guys lose that? I get that you lose the 28, the 3-point shooting from Cat. But how do y'all lose the defense? Like, how does that happen when your defenders are still on the team, right? It's a very odd thing to me, and the only thing that I could come up with is this: 1, Rudy Gobert is averaging like 2 and change less in terms of his rebounds this year, right? And on top of that, he's averaging like a block and a half less than last year, or 1.25 blocks less than last year, right? So that is definitely a factor. I also think that this team was too hyper focused on the Denver Nuggets. They set it from the year before when they lost in the playoffs, and all of last year. They were all about, we got to beat the Nuggets. That they talked about it a lot last year. And now you come into this season with no identity, and maybe because y'all made your whole identity about a team that didn't even win the chip last year. And to your point, Elijah, he was there doing legwork for years, and you took that away. No, touche. That might have something to do with it, right? And I think Karl Anthony Towns too. He's a bad defender because he fouls a lot of people, but it's not for lack of effort sometimes, right? Like, sometimes he's almost trying too hard, right? That's what gets him into trouble on defense. But I think this Minnesota Timberwolves team has no identity because for the last 2 years, everything about them was all about, we have to beat the Denver Nuggets. And they've matched up very well against them. They're what, 5-0 since Game 7 last year. So they've solved the Nuggets problem, the Nuggets puzzle, but forgot about the other 29 teams. And you know, when you have a year that Anthony Edwards is having, where it's a bit of a down year and he's shooting a little bit more threes, what did we talk about with Boston, right? The more threes you take, the more possessions your defense will not be set up, because the other team is going to be able to run and gun against you guys. And I think all of those things, plus Rudy Gobert having a down year, are factoring into why this Minnesota Timberwolves team is just not as good on defense as they were last year. Cat is a kid. Cat and Jaren Jackson Jr. used to have a masterclass on how to foul. It's so mind-blowing to me. It's so mind-blowing to me that, and I guess, and listen, I guess it's a lot easier said than done, right? It's a lot easier said than done. There's a play last night during the Memphis Warriors game towards the end. I wish Jimmy threw it to the corner at Steph, because I think he could have got 13 threes, but he pump faked the motherfucker and the guy jumped. And the broadcasters are like, well, you can't jump for that, or you can't do that. But at the same time, it's also a lot easier said than done. And I think for Kat and Jaren Jackson, they just make that mistake a lot more consistently. They fucking trying to jump at everything. I think for Karl Anthony Towns, right? I think Jaren Jackson's problem is he wants to be this shot blocker type of person, and that gets him into a lot of trouble. I think Karl Anthony Towns every game wants to prove that he's tough and that he's strong. And I think that gets him into a lot of trouble, because players will use that aggression against him and draw fouls against him, instead of him just trying to fucking play basketball and get to the right spots, right? But, hey, man. Jackson Hayes used to be like that too, but he improved greatly. I think it's too late for Cat. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, just watching him play, I think it's a thing in his brain that says, I need to prove to everyone when they drive into me that I'm big and strong. I think that's what it really is at its most basic level for him. I think that's what it is for him. He looks at everything when guys are driving in the lane. I have to prove to them that I'm not no punk bitch. And it gets him into trouble. Right? It gets him into trouble. You'll see him try to muscle up when he doesn't need to sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Let them run you over. Draw the offensive foul. We gonna go the other way, and then you gonna score. Like, what are we doing? Oh my god, man. Listen, man, you gonna get me going on fucking Carlet. You want to mention Cat so much. Now I'm getting pissed off. And then Cat want to go, oh my God. You guys ever seen that video? Did you guys ever see that video of Cat driving and saying, oh my God? That shit is so funny. That shit is so fucking funny, man. It's so funny. Did he take KG way too serious, or was he just not listening to everything? Because I've also seen Kevin Garnett muscle, and then go, oop. Have you ever seen Kevin Garnett? I've seen him muscle you up until he pulled the chair on you, until he make you fucking slip or some shit. Like, he used to do it strategically also, right? It wasn't just physical. And the difference too, right? Kevin Garnett is way skinnier than Karl Anthony Towns. He needed to be like that because he was so skinny, right? He needed to muscle up because technically guys were bigger than him. Karl Anthony Towns, you're bigger than everybody. What do you have to prove that you're strong for? You are 28-13. Like, what is there to prove? There is nothing to prove about how tough you are, how this, how that. You are a good fucking basketball player. Stop getting into tough guy competitions with these players. You are better than them. And I think that's what motherfuckers need to start telling him. Be tough on the offensive end. Play good defense on the other end. That's it. Play aggressive on one side. Absorb contact and get in the way on defense. That's all you got to do. But this you're trying to be tough on defense bullshit has never worked for you, and it's never going to work. Like, it just, I don't get it, bro. Cat be staring dead at someone, the side eye away from them. Hold on. Now we got to go watch that cat video. Hold on. Because now I want to laugh. Yo, this shit is so funny, man. Oh my god. Nah. Wait. We gotta watch this together, bro.
At the next level.
Oh, Towns.
Oh my God!
No.
Oh my God!
Down single coverage. Goes right at Smith.
Basketball skills and the fit with Jalen Brunson, but you're playing at home.
So I can't say that we're surprised about what's going on right
Yo,
now.
this shit is so hilarious, bro. Nah, bro.
Towns going back to work. And past 9 games, he shot over 50% from the floor. Towns with Diabate.
Yo.
There's the offensive rebound.
Underneath, front, they continue to move.
Towns gets inside.
You know what's the best part in this? They really trying to murder my boy. Like, that's the best part. He reacting for a reason. In 80% of these clips, they are trying to put him on a stick and cook him. They trying to kill this man. The funniest part is he really screaming because they really hitting the fuck out of him and they're not calling it. There's just no way, bro. He's never beating the allegations, bro. He's never beating the allegations. Mind you, this broadcast audio. Cat screams more than girls in bed G's. That, oh my god, is crazy. Cause think about it. Like, you got to think about it from a ref's perspective, right? You got to think about it from a referee's perspective. And these referees, a lot of them are older, like old school guys, old school refs. You got to be big and tough. If a player screams, "Oh my god," I might not blow the whistle neither, bro. No bullshit. I might not blow the whistle neither. Like, you gonna have to hold that, brother. You gonna have to change. You know how we was talking about Ja Morant can't do none of these threes? Cat can't scream on drives no more. He should not be allowed to scream on drives. You cannot say a fucking word when you get hit on the drive. You just gotta be stone faced. You just got that's all you could do. But oh my god, they really kill him going to the rim. Like, they actually be tackling him because he's so massive. Like, they deadass be tackling my boy. Oh, that was so funny, man. Oh shit, I can't believe he's on the Knicks sometimes. I genuinely can't believe it, bruh. What the fuck, man? Like, he needs to just grunt. Like, he needs to just grunt like a fucking troll or some shit. Cause him screaming, "Oh my god," is not helping him. He needs to change his tactic up. Like, he gotta do something else, bro. Like, You got to start barking or some shit. You cannot be doing what you are doing, bro, because... Oh, now I'm just going to make fun of him because this is fucking hilarious. Nah, this one was comedy, bro.
All the physical.
Nah, this is the last one.
All the physical play here, right? Mo Wagner doing a good job. There's the bumping.
Yo, that was comedy. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck just happened? Wait, what just happened? Wait, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck is this? Am I not live no more? Am I tweaking? Let's see. Go live. Let's see what the fuck pops up. It never got off. What the fuck? Yo, my dashboard just fucking died, bro. I don't know what just happened, but okay. Oh, fucking this shit just tweaked out. Bro, I don't know what just happened. Everything just shut off. You had to have seen half of my screen. The whole shit just tweaked out. And then I got signed off on my OBS. I don't know what just happened, but I guess we were laughing at Karl Anthony Towns too much because I don't know what just happened, bro. Oh shit, man. But you know what? I think that's a good time to end. I'm over here cooking my own star player, but it is what it is, dog. You got to live with that. Maybe I should change the title. You make your bed, you lay in it. Maybe that should have been the title today, but maybe we'll save that for another time. But hey, as always, thank you guys so much. Before I get out of here, please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Bruce. You guys are the fucking goats. Like, literally the goats. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. I'll be back here on Friday. We got some more hoops to talk about before the weekend, man. Thank you guys so much. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me. Thank you for that. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.